After taking a 7-year hiatus from dating and relationships to become the kind of person that I would want to be with, I have recently ventured back forth into the world of dating and the apps. And initially my strategy was I wanted to appeal to everyone. I wanted the likes, the comments, the messages because it made me feel wanted. And so how did I create that? I was as generic, vanilla, basic as possible in my profile because I wanted everyone to like me. I got a ton of responses, but after wading through them, it's gonna be very time consuming. I'm like, none of these guys are someone I actually, see any kind of connection, let alone future with. And it's just like in business, you could build this huge audience on TikTok by doing funny dances or telling us about how you fell in love with your psychiatrist and he kept you anyway and do a 40-part mini series. Are those people gonna buy a $10,000 coaching offer from you? Business and dating are very similar. You want to have strategies and tactics in your pocket so that when the message comes through, the DM, you're going to create content, you have a foundation. Even more important than the tactics is the identity of the woman who already has it all and wants for nothing. She's secure in herself and in the value that she brings to the marketplace. Because when you can show up from that energy, you'll figure out the strategies and the tactics. After being selected for Alex Hermosi's private mastermind last year, Skool 100 people chosen from 5,000 applicants, building a 6-figure business and moving to Croatia, I have learned a thing or two about being authentic and growing an audience based on who you actually are. And I've started to see some patterns in what works and what doesn't work. And so if you've ever wondered how to show up as yourself in a way that makes people feel like they know you, like you, and trust you, then that's what we're gonna unpack in this video. I hate the word authentic just because I feel like it's used so much that we don't even really know what it means. And it's easier to understand by knowing what authenticity is not, what is inauthentic. From children, from little babies, we are told that we need to behave in certain ways in order to get the love, care, and attention from our parents. So over time, we learn that there are certain acceptable and not acceptable behaviors to get the things that we want. Authenticity is less about doing than it is about peeling away all of the layers of who you are not, where you have been conditioned to show up in a certain way to get love and attention and care. Most people don't understand that humans are incredibly smart and buyers are more intelligent than ever. We are inundated with media and offers and sales all day. And the thing that will keep people from buying from you is when they sense an incongruency. She's saying this, but it seems like this. It just doesn't line up. And you might not be able to put your finger on it, but they're not the person that you want to hand your credit card over to. Human design shows us where we have been conditioned to show up in a certain way in order to be loved. When you're showing up from the intention of getting something, I want them to like me, love me, respect me, you're actually showing up from a place of taking. You want something from this person, so you're going to mold yourself into an image of who you think you need to be in order to get that. And that's another thing humans can sniff out. It triggers our little, survival amygdala that's like ding, 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 danger, don't go. We don't want that. So if you're already going online to prove your worth, to defend yourself, to make people respect you, we're already fucked up in the game. Authenticity is 5,000 times stronger than love because in a world of AI, ChatGPT bullshit, it's the one thing that AI can't clone. Because right now, AI can only come up with ideas that it has heard before. It's not coming up with anything new. There's a right and a wrong way to use it in our business. Being authentic is how you show up when there's no chance of punishment. And one question I always get from every single client is, how are you so authentic? How do you just get so vulnerable and share your history of addiction and incarceration? And the answer to that is this has been a years-long process of deconditioning, peeling back the masks, and it's a lot of reps at the end of the day. And because we can only ever be as authentic as we are self-aware, human design gives us the vocabulary and awareness of who we were born to be, and specifically how you were designed to attract, sell, and deliver, which are the only three things that we do in business. There's 1.5 million ways to go about building a business. The problem is most of them work, but will they work for you? That's what human design allows us to do, because and it even gives us a built-in strategy mechanism to know when we are on and off track. It's called your signature and your not self theme. Everybody talks about finding my purpose, living my purpose, and the truth is you don't find your purpose. It is something you discover by becoming who you actually are. And one thing I just love to do now is analyze different creators and business owners when I know they're human design, because it gives me the frame of reference for how these people show up. I know Alex Hormozi is a manifesting generator. Makes perfect sense. I don't know his exact birth time, so I don't know the profile, but I bet he's a 3-5 or 5-1. Sam Ovens, the creator of Skool, is a 4-1 emotional projector. Makes perfect sense. They have a partnership together with Skool, and even though Alex Hormozi, you see him everywhere on the internet. I was just in Amsterdam for the $100 million Money Models launch, which was fucking 9.5 hours. It went on forever. Even though you see him everywhere and his brand is huge, Sam is worth more because he's living his design. They're both living their designs. It's not a competition, but I just think that's so interesting. This isn't just about getting another client or making another $10,000. It's about doing it in a way that feels right, because when you are in your zone of genius, that's sustainable, and that's what scales no matter where you go. The fastest path to growing your business for a projector is going to look a lot different than it will for a generator. There's certain principles that apply to everyone, like attract, convert, deliver, but the way we do it is what changes. For example, if I'm a projector, I can try to be Alex Hormozi, and it would work. And that's what I did when I was in the 100. But I was burning myself out doing low ticket, attracting clients who weren't a great fit. And for a projector, your energy is like gold. We're not here to compete on the work, but we do have innate power. And that power comes from guiding others, pointing out the bottlenecks, the mistakes that people are making, sharing from our own lived experience. For a manifesting generator, you know that you're allowed to pivot. You pivot fast and pivot often. And the awareness would come if I'm a projector and I'm noticing I'm getting a really, really burnt out and bitter. I have to look at, what am I doing? Am I trying to compete on hustle, on getting things done? Or am I really showing up, sharing my lived wisdom and experience? Whereas a manifesting generator wants to let their people know that you have a step-by-step process. Because you move so fast, most of us can't keep up, and we don't necessarily need to. But if your potential client feels like you're going to leave them in the dust when you get your next bright idea, they're not going to sign. So you want to let them know, hey, I have this process. It's step 1, step 2, it's repeatable. You can do it. Anyone can do it. I'm not going to leave you behind. A manifestor watering down their message to appeal to the masses defeats the whole purpose of being a manifestor, because you're here to call the future into us and give us all jobs. We're paying you for your big, bold ideas, because that has never existed before. Line ones, we were talking about profile lines. You can never lie to a line one. They will always get to the bottom of things. They love learning and research and going down these rabbit holes, and we're here to pay you for that research. So sharing it in your content, hey, here's what I've learned so far, super valuable, very high leverage. Line fours, we are I'm a 4/6 projector. Our people really trust us. We have this warm network. We're sharing foundational knowledge, and our people are generally with us for life. People really like us. We are easily make friendships, no matter where you go. Social butterfly. Line 6s, you guys are, or me too, I'm a 4/6, very wise, role model, old soul, sharing their wisdom and lived experience. Do you see how I'm saying? Depending on your design, it tells you how to show up in your content and in your business, structure your offers. As a line 4, I have clients who have 10 times the following that I do, and I make way more. And it's because as a projector, I have an offer that's priced on transformation, not hours put in, because I'm not a generator. I've got an automated delivery system on the back end in the form of Skool, so I'm not doing everything manually myself every time a client books a call. I'm not selling, one-off readings. Outed myself to the internet that I was a former addict. Vulnerability is the only true path to connection. And when you start being who you are, people feel like they can be themselves with you too. The steps to showing up authentically. Number 1, just a prelude. Do not use AI to replace your creativity, your energetic authenticity. Use it to boost the efficiency of what you're already doing. Just the prelude. How can we actually show up authentically and have this conscious mending between who we are on the inside and how we present on the outside? Step 1 is we have to peel back all the layers. We have to find all of the fakeness. Where are you showing up one way when that's not who you are? How are you being fake? Where are you showing up from the intention of taking in order to be liked versus how would you act with a friend? If you've got 2 different Instagram accounts, one is just for the business and who you present to the world, and one is who you actually are, we should look at the intention behind that. Because people don't buy from businesses, people buy from people. And if you're not bringing the whole of yourself to your content, there's nothing for people to connect with. Which comes with having the courage to be disliked, knowing that you are not everyone's cup of tea and you're not trying to be. Opening up more about yourself and your story. Your story is more powerful than any marketing tactic. Now, I'm not saying you have to out yourself as a drug addict to the internet like I did, but there's a version of that for you, naming the elephant in the room. Because just because you're not saying it doesn't mean that people aren't picking up on it. And if you're the one who breaks the story, you take your power back because you're like, yeah, I know this isn't great or ideal. Like, it's like if you're a dating coach, but you haven't been in a relationship for years. Just because you're not saying it in your content doesn't mean that people are like, I wonder if she has a boyfriend or a husband or is even in a relationship. They know. They're just not saying it. And every elephant in the room that you name is another paycheck waiting for you. The most successful people I know, women I know, are people who double down on investing in their own skills, their zone of genius, their unfair competitive advantage in the marketplace, and taking massive action quickly. So I'm sure you got one thing from this video that you can implement. Let me know in the comments what that is. And if you would like a free mini human design for business audit, then join my free spiritual business school, which is linked down below. I love you so much. Mwah.